What's going on, everybody? It's Q from Retro Q Gaming here. And no, this is not Gears of War 5 footage. I realize that. Hell, it's not even Gears of War 4 footage. Obviously, it doesn't matter. It's relevant. That's not it's not the point of all this. But what is the point of all of this is, fresh off a couple of announcements and a couple of details released now at Gamescom earlier today, well, we have some more Gears of War 5, or just Gears 5, I guess, since that's what they're calling it nowadays. But there's some new info out about it. Now, there's new trailers, there's new gameplay, there's new campaign, but no, we are going to talk about Horde mode, probably my favorite mode in Gears of War games. I love the campaigns for the most part. Campaigns for Gears 1, 2, and 3 were fantastic. Gears 4 campaign was decent, but Horde mode is where it's at. Horde mode is what keeps these games going for me for years at a time. Eventually, I just got sick and had way too much after I earned my wings in Gears 4. But Gears 5, we're looking back to Horde mode. They already had a multiplayer versus multiplayer, that is, tech test and all a while back. But now we have more Horde details. I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. I am a little bit hyped, mainly because we finally see more Horde. Like I said, we don't know all the full details and all how it's going to work just yet, but the fact that they showed some of it off just automatically has me hyped. They showed a campaign trailer and all too, but we're not talking about that in this one. It's strictly Horde. Now, the big important thing first to notice, or not so much notice, but note, in Gears 5 Horde mode is that it's not exactly going to be class-based. It's going to be kind of a combination of two. There's going to be the class-based system, as well at the same time it's going to have the hero character system. Now what that means is you could have your various engineers and whatnot, but you can have different characters, different hero characters, even though they're all both engineers. And they will all have different stuff, they'll all have different, what they're calling ultimates and abilities now. And that's what seems to differentiate everything. Because also, at the same time, when you look at Gears 4 and the skill cards, the skill card system is going to change. Apparently, you start every game with skill cards. You get all your skill cards. And over the course of the entire match, based on your performance, based on the power, the points, whatever it is, it's not 100% clear just yet. But you can upgrade all of these as you see fit through whatever, we'll call it whatever suits the gameplay of that particular composition that you're working with. The map you're on, how you're handling everything, the other characters, how they play, the strategy, etc. And then once the game is over, they all reset back to zero. And then in your next game, you can mix and match and do whatever it is, power up and all that as you need to go. Now, first off, I don't know how I feel exactly about the hero character aspect of it. I'm not a huge fan of hero-based games. I played Overwatch for a while, what feels like a million years ago. But hey, at least I played on PC where we had quality players. But the main crux and difference of all these characters, these hero characters, are mainly their ultimate abilities. JD Phoenix, for example, can call down an airstrike, whereas Kate can go invisible. So she can rush out into the middle of the field, pick up all the power, which is now automatically shared between everyone when you pick it up. Thank God none of those crappy Xbox players that used to play in Gears 4 that would hoard 40, 50, 60, 70,000 power and then die and quit the game or whatever with it all. Or just not fucking deposit it. So it can all be used properly. There's a couple of other nice little quality of life improvements as well. There's going to be mini bosses as well as big standard bosses. And some of those are going to have health bars now. So you can see, you can formulate everything. You know if you're going in because it's got 10% health left, there's a good chance you could kill it. Or it's got 90% left and there's no point in you just running in and getting wrecked. A couple of other little differences also include what's called the, I believe they named it the energy tap system. And the energy tap system is a way to kind of shake up the gameplay, make it a bit more dynamic in a sense. When you look at Gears of War 4 and Horde mode, hell, even to an extent Gears of War 2 and Gears of War 3, but we'll use 4 as the most recent example, you would typically build your base in one place and just bunker in and upgrade everything, fortify everything, and just use that as your main base of operations the entire time. Well, it seems that in Gears 5 Horde mode, every 10 waves after a boss wave, something called an energy tap will kind of explode onto the field or show onto the field. And it will typically not be in your base. Now these things can give you massive boosts and bonuses to your power, which help you build more stuff, which helps you upgrade your skill cards and whatnot. But of course that all comes at the cost of, can you move your base over? Can you support 2 bases to do this? Or do you just completely abandon one and move over to the other one? So it does make it a little bit more dynamic in that regard, instead of just holding up into the same place for 50 waves. One thing that caught probably everyone, myself included, off guard was now you can control Jack. That's right, the robot. Jack, you can control him as a playable character in Gears 5 Horde mode. Of course, he's got his own sets of abilities and all that too. He seems to mainly be a support, but he does have some type of offense because he can take control of enemy units. But he's the fast repairer, the reviver, that kind of thing by the looks of it. But also kind of interesting to note in this one as well is some of the pre-order bonuses, not just the ones that we already know. The ones we already know were the Terminator ones that link in with the new film, where you get the T-800 exoskeleton or something along those lines. But now they've announced a Halo Reach crossover as well, where if you pre-ordered or used the Ultimate Game Pass or whatever it's called, you will get Kat and Emil from Halo Reach as hero characters for Gears 5 Horde mode. Of course, they all come with their own special abilities and whatnot. Emil can drop a bubble shield, and Kat can use a hologram. Of course, there's more stuff that remains to be seen, not just with these characters, but with everyone, how the game plays, the mechanics, etc. But the real interesting and important thing, or at least one of them that I'm now extremely close to knowing, because I've wanted to know it all this time. Previously, if you pre-ordered the Ultimate Edition of Gears 5 on either Xbox One or the Windows 10 store, or subscribe to the Ultimate Game Pass thing, you would get all these extra bonuses and all this extra stuff. Now, we already knew that Gears 5 was coming to Steam day 1 and date, as expected and previously announced, but there'd been never any bits more info about it. Would the Ultimate Edition be available for pre-order on Steam? Would you get the bonuses, like say Halo stuff, Halo Reach stuff, Terminator stuff, all of that? Or would there only be the standard regular version on Steam? Well, they announced at Gamescom that going live later today, the pre-order will be live on Steam. As of recording is right now, it is not live on Steam just yet. Another interesting feature about the Steam version is it will have crossplay with the Windows 10 store version and Xbox One players. Really hope I can turn that off based on Gears of War 4. But the big thing to note for me, and the big important one that I want to know, is will the Ultimate Edition be available for pre-order on Steam? Not only will you get all that pre-order stuff, you'll also be able to play the game 4 days early on September 6th instead of September 10th. But realistically, the big stuff I want is the Halo stuff and the Terminator stuff. There's a couple of extra other things included with the Ultimate Edition and the Ultimate Pass and all, but that's kind of irrelevant. But they're the main things. Anyway, that's it for me. What did you think about the Gears 5 Horde mode reveal? Or even did you watch the campaign trailer as well? Are you a huge fan of Horde mode like myself? It's pretty much the main reason I play these games, outside of the story once or twice. And will you be getting it? And how much will you be playing it? Are you excited for the new mechanics, for the hero character stuff, for the energy taps, or whatever it is? Let me know all of that good stuff in the comments section below. Hit the appropriate button to let me know how I did on the video, and while you're at it, why not head on over and hit the subscribe button and even ring the little notification bell. Granted, getting a notification from YouTube in current year about a new video upload or a live stream or whatever is a whole other story. But hey, at least you can say you tried, am I right? As always, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the rest of the videos in my channel.